everyone, I am Oishi and today we are going to talk about two Peter Swanson thrillers. One is from this year, that's called 9 Lives, and the other one is from the previous year, and that was called Every Vow You Break. Before we talk about the books, I want to give a huge shout out to Steve from Steve Talks Books. He has been a huge support in my new channel and he has tons of good stuff on his book channel. So please give a visit to him, and if you haven't yet, that is, and I will drop the link to his channel in the descriptions. Now, Peter Swanson, by the way, this video is not going to be super long because both of these books are, in my opinion, pretty middle of the road. They're not super, like, they're not anything super special, they're not terrible, but they're not amazing, so pretty middle of the road. Yeah. So about Peter Swanson, I have read two of his previous books. One was the 8 Perfect Murders one, and the other one was The Kind Worth Killing. I think that one kind of put him on the map. I might be wrong about this. Anyway, so not like I didn't love either of those books, but his books are very readable. Now, Peter Swanson is one of those authors whose personality kind of comes through in their writing. By that I don't mean like their writing style or the specific kind of language they use. It's not that, it's about the things that he likes and he enjoys. Because for example, let's say he is writing a book with like 20 characters, and like 15 of those characters will like reading or enjoy books in one way or the other because the author himself enjoys books. And he uses he mentions a lot of the things that he personally likes in his books, like old movies, old books, classic music, special kind of alcoholic drinks. So if you are into those specific kind of things, it's a little extra layer on the books that you will like. Now, about 9 Lives, so this came out I think in March, and the book is about it's kind of clear from the name that it's about like 9 lives. There are 10 people, and 10 people have received a list of names from by mail, and those people start dying one by one. It's basically a kill list, and the police are kind of trying to figure it out. So the book is not really about the investigation. I mean, we get that angle, but the book is about the people. And as we have shifting perspectives, there are at least 9 characters, and there are some other extra POVs that we get. So it's not really from their first person POV, it's a third person POV book, but the chapters shift to each of the characters' perspective, and we can see what they're thinking and feeling and how they're being killed. And we are kind of going along and wondering that are all of these people going to be killed, or is someone going to put a stop to this, and who is doing this and why, and stuff like that. So as far as I know, this is not a popular book on BookTube. At least people haven't really vibed with this, and on Goodreads it has a 3.6 rating. So yeah, pretty middle of the road. So I kind of feel the same way, because on one hand I liked reading the book because the chapters are very short, very punchy, and since we are getting a lot of character perspectives, it's easy, if it's not done right, it's easy to kind of get drowned in so many perspectives and not really understanding what's going on or who is thinking what. But that never happens. The author does a very good job in distinguishing the voices of the characters, if that's how I want to put it. And another big achievement I think for the author is, since we are getting to know the characters for a very short time actually, because the chapters are short and they are being killed off anyway, so it's not a lot of time that we spend on the characters. Additionally, we are not really spending time in their head. It's a third person POV. So even with these restrictions or these constraints, the author does a good job to make us care about at least certain characters, that when they die it's like, oh my god, I actually care and I don't like that they died. So that's an achievement for the author, to make us care for the characters. And that's about the POVs and chapters. And also, like I said, another thing is, when we're reading first person POV and when we're reading psychological thrillers, it kind of gets bogged down sometimes with the musings and the stream of consciousness stuff. That's not in here, but these are the good parts of the book. And the bad part, I don't want to call it a bad part, I will say this is the weaker part of the book. The weaker part is the resolution and what really happened in the past that is making the killer in the present kill these people. And those events that are in the past is I don't know, that I mean, it read kind of like I mean, I did not grow up in the USA, so I don't know how like people act or stuff, but it kind of felt really, I mean, it felt a little bit sus to me. Just without spoilers, let me just say that. And in the final resolution, and when the resolution happens, when the twist happens, I felt that was okay. That was an okay twist. But even with that, the resolution is, I mean, it's fine, but it's not the best or strongest part of the book in my opinion. And it's not like, oh my god, I'm really unsatisfied what happened in the end, I don't like the ending. It's not like that. But it's not, at the same time, it's not, oh, I'm blown away, this was so clever and amazing. It's not that. And as you can probably understand from the concept that I said already, that it's kind of inspired by Agatha Christie's the famous Then There Were None. And the book is also mentioned in this book because, as I said, Peter Swanson likes to mention that the things that he personally enjoys. So in the end, it was a chill little book, not too much too many thrills, but not bad either. So yeah, I will give it a 4, but I'm being generous. You can take it 3.5 to 4 rating in my opinion, 3.5 being rounded up to 4. And about Every Vow You Break, this book came out last year, and this is about kind of a woman who is going to get married to a dreamy man, but some secret from her past is kind of ruining her honeymoon, and she now and also the honeymoon is not really going how she expected, and she is kind of navigating the fact that, okay, this is not what I expected, and also what do I do about the thing from my past. Now this is a kind of as I said, Peter Swanson likes to be inspired from other works, so this was inspired from the Alfred Hitchcock movie Vertigo, I think, and that movie is also mentioned in this book. And it's a very loose inspiration from what I understand from the plot of the movie, but yeah, it's kind of a woman and her new husband and the like kind of another man and stuff. Now this book is very slow in building up its thrills. Right now, if you're kind of going into it wondering, expecting right away that there will be a murder, or even if not murder, there will be a crime, or there will thrills, it doesn't get there very soon. It's very, very slow to build up the tension. In fact, in my opinion, for the first 3/4 of the book, it's mostly a suspense drama, not a thriller, because we have to kind of understand first that what is wrong, even if anything even is wrong, and it's kind of like mostly about morality issues and how we deal with certain wrongdoings in our life, and kind of drama, a lot of drama and a little bit of suspense, but not really big thrills, and if you don't like that, it's going to be a very slow book for you. You're going to be exasperated, like super, not exasperated, but super impatient, like, oh my god, with the thriller book where the thrills come like really later in the book. And after the things and the story and the kind of narrative is set up, after the setting is done, there were, in my opinion, 2 ways for the author to go. Like the one way was going to be if the author were really predictable, and the other way was to go in a very unpredictable way, and that would be very outlandish. So that's what the author did. He didn't choose a predictable ending, because there wasn't really any red herrings or any clue built up. So it was either do a very predictable ending or do a very unpredictable ending, but to do that there had to be a lot of wildness in the book. And without spoilers, that's what the author did. The ending is very wild, and I will also say kind of outlandish, and it kind of becomes a chase between the killer and the victim and stuff like that. So the last part is thrilling. If you are looking for that, you will get that in like the last 1/4 of the book. Now I personally, I felt that the outlandish ending was okay, but to like kind of, the author didn't just have to write an ending, he also had to explain a lot of things away for the ending to work. And I felt like that part was a bit weak, because when everything is said and done, there were a couple of things that I was wondering about, that okay, if that was the case, then what about this and what about that. So like a few or a couple at least loose endings, I felt like that for the ending to work, those things had to be explained, and I felt like the explanation that were provided wasn't good enough, or it didn't really work. But overall, it was more of a suspense and drama than a really solid thriller. Now sometimes what happened in my case is, sometimes you really just have chemistry with a book, and for some reason you're just reading a book and you like whatever you're reading, you just have a connection. That's what happened with me in this book, and I was just in the mood for this kind of a read, and for me it was a very compulsive read, and I finished it in like 2 days. So when I finished it, I just enjoyed the reading experience so much. I gave it a 4. But if I'm being really honest about like the expectations of thriller readers and the kind of enjoyment they would get from the book, if I'm being honest, I should probably give it a 3.25 to 3.5. So yeah, that's my review. That's the best I can do while also being fair. So let me know if you read this book, let me know how you like them, and if you are intrigued by this like plot summaries that I gave you or the review I gave you, pick it up and pick these books up and see if you like them or not. And thank you so much to those who have subscribed, and it really helps. Thank you. And if you like my content, please support me, like my videos and subscribe. Thank you so much, and bye.